Hi guys, I'm just gonna try to do a little screencast to show you the instructions for page 259, numbers 5 through 24. We've learned from the videos we've watched how to make turn a decimal into a fraction and vice versa, a fraction into a decimal. So now what you need to do here today is to compare the decimals. So one thing you really need to be able to practice and be able to do is read these decimals as fractions. So for example, for number 5, you might say 0.4, but if you read it as a fraction, you would say 4/10. And this decimal, you might say it's 0.04, but if you read it as a fraction, you would read 4/100. So if you're trying to compare 4/10 and 4/100, that's a little tricky because they don't have the same denominator. But there's a cool trick about decimals. That trick is that you can add to the right of any decimal, you can add as many zeros as you want, and it doesn't change the value. So for example, for 0.4, I could write 0.40 and the value is the same. I could write 0.40000000 and the value is still going to be the same. So if I want to change this 0.4 into hundredths, all I need to do is add a 0 and the value doesn't change. So 0.4 is 4/10, but if I added a 0 on here, I could also read it as 0.40, which would be 40/100. Okay, so now I can compare 4/10 or 40/100 to 4/100, and 40/100 is more than 4/100. So you would write 0.4 is greater than 0.04. Let's try one more. So now we would read this as 30/100, and this one is 3/10. Okay, so 30/100, 3/10. It's hard to compare those fractions and decimals because they don't have the same denominator. So we can turn tenths into hundredths pretty easily, right? We can do 0.3 and just add a 0 on there because adding the 0 on does not change the value of the decimal. Like I said, you can add as many zeros as you want to the right of the decimal, and it doesn't change the value. So I'm just going to add a 0 on here to make it 30/100. Okay, and now I have 30/100 in comparison to 3/10, which is also 30/100. So here I would write 30/100 is equal to 3/10. Let's do one more. Okay, so this fraction this decimal I would read as 0.7, or I could also read it as a fraction as 7/10. This one over here, 0.24, if I was going to read it as a fraction, I would say 24/100. Okay, now in order to compare these, I want to change my tenths into hundredths, and to do that, I'm just going to add another 0, because remember, it does not change the value. I can add as many zeros as I want to the end, and it doesn't change the value. Okay, it just changes how you read it. So this one right now says 7/10, but let's add a 0 on there, and it would be 70/100 compared to 24/100. So I know 70/100 is greater than 24/100. That means 7/10 is also greater than 24/100. So I'm going to put that greater than sign right there. Okay, if you need more help with this, you could check in with your parents. You could watch the video again if you want to. That might help you as well. I don't want to do them all for you. So good luck, guys. I know this learning online is kind of tricky, and we're all learning a lot of different things, so we're just doing the best we can. Turn your answers into me, and we'll see how we did. All right, take care. Miss you guys.